Okay, to officially start the program, I am very honored to introduce Mr. Victor Aliwalas from PLDT Enterprise. Victor?
Hello, thank you for that very nice introduction. Good afternoon, everybody. On behalf of PLDT Enterprise, it's my pleasure to join you all as we discuss next level telecommuting and the great solutions we are bringing to the market together with our trusted partner, Cisco. Solutions suitable for all companies and industries across the entire enterprise. Now, within PLDT, my group caters to the IT BPO market, and this pandemic has truly been a whirlwind for us. We're always trying to come up with ways to properly support and address issues that our enterprise clients are facing. And today we'll focus upon the need for telecommuting and cloud-ready networking brought on because of the pandemic. Now, prior to COVID, enterprises all across industry verticals had long been considering telecommute as a way to augment their operations to address the horrible traffic and commute issues here in the Philippines. Now, based on a study conducted by JICA, the Japan International Cooperation Agency, around 2018, they noted that billions of pesos have been wasted in inefficient commute and traffic time. Now, in response to such findings, we at PLDT Enterprise, together with our partners from Cisco, had begun to push for more work-from-home arrangements through enterprise-grade applications and connectivity. At that time, however, lots of companies and industries were still kind of lukewarm about it. And you fast forward to today, a little over 2 years since the telecommute scheme had first been introduced to the local industry, we now see it as a new norm for almost every single thriving company and IT BPO company today. Now, the sudden implementation of ECQ was difficult for every business, most especially for those in the IT BPO sector who serve critical business requirements of businesses that always need to be on, mission critical. The number of clients that wanted to shift to work from home had skyrocketed based on our surveys that we conducted with our clients. More than 50% of operations for a majority of our customers will transition to work from home if they already haven't. Now, during ECQ, I'm sorry, I have to turn off my Telegram. A lot of messages are popping up here. Okay. During ECQ, everyone, all operations had really suffered. The cross-border blockades made it difficult for employees, both with technical and non-technical functions, to commute and report to work. Only a limited number of people got to come in, and their IT systems would often be unavailable due to lack of IT personnel that could report to the office. Now, given this, they had no choice but to implement a work-from-home system. They purchased and released a significant volume of office equipment, such as desktops and laptops, so employees could easily access the necessary systems and applications at home. Provided connectivity solutions for all remote employees, secured their data and data center facilities, and upgraded the communication and internet capabilities of their head offices and key branches. As they started setting up the telecommute scheme, they engaged with us so they could avail of the solutions that they needed. And they approached us at such an opportune time because we had likewise just expanded our suite for telecomute solutions. Now, the longer that the situation persists, companies begin to see that the work from home actually really does work for them. And this is true for all industries, not just IT BPM. And just as we did at the onset of the pandemic, we will continue to help our customers navigate through this unprecedented time. Clearly, this is no longer just a temporary fix. Everybody initially had it as, business continued plans, but it's really going to be business as usual. So I guess most of you might be wondering, how then can we properly create a remote work culture that actually works? First and foremost, I think it's a matter of identifying what are the non-negotiables for your business. When you identify what value you want to keep delivering for your customers, you'll then be able to bridge that gap by choosing solutions that will allow you to continue doing this. Now, we at PLDT have taken on a relationship approach with our customers. We listen to you and your needs so we can help provide you with the tools that will be the most beneficial to you. Scoping has really taken on a huge role throughout this pandemic, so we want to ensure that we provide all our customers with the solutions that will allow them to optimize their affected operations. Now, with our telecommute suite, we established the key capabilities that we wanted to enable our customers with: communication, collaboration, and continuity. With these value pillars, it'll make it easy for us and our customers to identify which products would be best suited for their needs. Their insights have allowed us to design offers that would cater to their needs best. Our aim at the end of the day is to enable application availability, make provisioning easily, and take charge of infrastructure management for our customers. We want to remove the complications of implementing these technologies and increase the pervasiveness of adoption, most especially now that many enterprises are considering telecommute for the long run. That's why it's been great having Cisco as a partner at this time. The wide range of solutions have complemented our telecommute suites perfectly. As an example, just last Monday, we at PLDT Enterprise launched Beyond Fiber in partnership with Cisco, all-in-one digital solution that will enable businesses of any size with curated digital tools and Wi-Fi for enterprise, all anchored on business-grade fiber. Well, the great thing about the solution is that it allows for customization with an array of digital tools and add-ons. The basic package already comes with fiber connectivity at a minimum speed of 50 Mbps, again, with a free Cisco Meraki router, all just for 2,500 pesos a month. So together with our partners from Cisco, we'll continue to collaborate with our customers to developing a setup that will help them not only define what their new normal looks like, but also enable them to come out of it even more productive and successful than they were before. As a slogan that we've adopted for this next phase of work, it's a step into a new day. Every day is a new day. So I want to thank you guys for joining. A lot of good insights with the presentations later, and a pleasant afternoon to you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Victor. Thank you for drawing the picture of what our new or better normal would look like. Now, to take us through the details, I'd like to introduce my colleague from Cisco, Ms. Ashlyn Didero. Ashlyn, please take it away.
Thanks so much, Rhea. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for having us here this afternoon. As Rhea mentioned, my name is Ashlyn Didero, and I'm the Business Development Manager for Meraki here in ASEAN. And with me today from Meraki, I also have George Dorsey, who is our Partner Solutions Architect. Now, today, we are going to tell you how, together with PLDT, we are helping our customers through COVID-19. We're going to showcase the power of PLDT's Meraki-powered services for the teleworker on our Z3 solution and how this is the perfect solution to keep you and your employees working securely and effectively during this time. With zero-touch provisioning, employees can plug a Meraki appliance in straight out of the box and have the same experience that they would at the office from the safety of their homes, while the PLDT team will have full visibility and troubleshooting capabilities remotely. Now, before we dig into the Z3 solution and the architecture itself, we wanted to touch on a few trends that we've seen in the industry, and Victor's already touched on a few of these, but really around how the trend to a more distributed workforce continues to grow. So we've seen, based on some US studies, that 56% of employees have a job where some of what they could do could be done remotely. And this is a really great stat because in the past 15 years, we've actually seen a 173% increase and a move to regular remote work. And this has only been further amplified in the past few months as a result of COVID-19. It's been estimated that approximately 49% of the population consisted of those who could work remotely with some frequency, and this is predicted to increase by 83% through 2021. So we've already seen a lot of companies do this globally, where they have enabled their workforce to work remotely through the end of the year, but also indefinitely. So we're knowing that remote work actually does work. So let's talk about a few of the benefits that are recognized by both employers and employees. So statistics state that a typical employer can save an average of $11,000 per half-time telecommuter per year. And the primary savings are a result of reduced absenteeism and turnover, increased productivity, and lower real estate costs. Now, the benefits aren't just for employers, they're for employees too. So we see that on average, workers can save up to $4,000 per year on their day-to-day commuting costs, which would be things like parking and food. And overall, as Victor also mentioned, we are seeing that this shift to the new normal is truly working. We're seeing a more productive and efficient workforce. And based on some studies, we've seen that the average half-time teleworker can save 11 days per year when it comes to commuting. And on the extreme end, where workers would traditionally go into the office on a daily basis, they can actually save up to 30 days per year to be more productive and efficient as opposed to spending that time commuting. So some really great statistics and benefits overall for both the employers and the employees. But what's important to note that is with the increased benefits, of course, there are new challenges, and these challenges are being faced by businesses of all sizes. Whether you're a small business owner, mid-sized, or enterprise company, you've probably asked yourself in the past few months more questions surrounding the security of your network. Maybe like, how do we secure workers when they're on public Wi-Fi? Or can we get best-in-class security without breaking the bank? And these are completely warranted questions and concerns as we are continuing to shift the way that we operate. Now, as we've transitioned to a remote work environment, it's important to note that we are shifting to a new normal. Remote work isn't just a temporary solution, it is likely going to be the way of the future. So with that in mind, we have to look at these new security considerations that we need to look out for now that an increased percentage of the workforce is mobile and no longer protected at the perimeter. We're seeing challenges like compromised credentials, as well as protecting mobile devices, as well as having greater security in the overall perimeter. So we'll talk to you today about how we can combat these challenges with PLDT's Meraki-powered solution built on Z3 to securely connect remote workers and devices. And with that, I'll pass it over to George to walk us through the Meraki Z3 solution for the teleworker. George, you might be muted.
Mute. Yeah.
That's why I always start with, hopefully everyone can hear me. So thank you so much, Ash. Yeah, George Dorsey, Partner Solution Architect, working with PLDT to help roll out some of their telecommute solutions as well as some of the other offers. We're going to spend a little bit of time today talking about how Meraki is trying to simplify IT for you as end customers through our partnership with PLDT. This is something that we have always seen as a priority when we develop products, and we think that it translates, kind of across the partnership, where our goal here is to simplify technology, powerful technology, but what we want to ultimately make possible is for you as customers to focus on your mission. So if you're in the retail space, we want to figure out how you can actually sell product right now. If you're in food and bev, what can we do to help you to actually make sure that you're still getting those orders out? If you're in a corporate environment, how do you kind of make sure that your employees are, working when they're at home and make sure that you keep productivity up for those end users? And so the goal here is really to simplify the management component of IT and make IT simply work. So how do we do that, and how have we done that over the past few years? So I've been with the Meraki team for the better part of 8 years now, and I've seen an incredible shift in our kind of capacity to provide more robust solutions to our customers. So previously, people thought about Meraki maybe for just wireless or just SD-WAN. Now we're thinking about way more investment in switching, visibility through our Meraki dashboard, as well as endpoint management. And we've really seen a strong adoption across the customer base globally and also in APJC. I've only been in APJC for the past year and a half or so, and I've seen incredible growth, and a lot of that has stemmed from PLDT's investment in moving Meraki forward. We've seen pretty significant, like some crazy number, like 400% growth in PLDT's Meraki offerings. And so what that means is that we're both here to invest in you as customers and invest in the technology to make sure that you get that best experience possible. And we're trusted across hundreds of thousands of customers. We now have millions, 7 million devices checking in online around the globe. And I also want to mention, this might sound like an insignificant stat. What does it matter what the active dashboard user statistic is? The reason I mention it is because it means that our partners and our customers are actually using our software product. They're not going in, setting it, and forgetting it. They're going in on a daily basis or a weekly basis and making changes, using our monitoring tools, using what's available to them through the Meraki dashboard to make sure that, whether it's an internal IT team or someone like PLDT providing a managed service, to you as a customer, that, they're taking full advantage of the feature set that's out there. So just a quick, kind of update and announcement on some of the new things that we've been releasing in the past couple of years. We've seen a huge increase in the number of endpoints that are connecting to especially our wireless networks. So whether you're in the healthcare space, retail space, or food and bev or professional services, we're seeing a huge increase in mobile devices. And one of the things that I always look at is how vulnerable is your network due to people bringing in their own devices. And also, if people want to bring their own devices, how invasive is the technology that you need to run on those devices to actually make sure that you get the security that you need if you're allowing people to do BYOD and connect to your own network. And so we've released a new feature called Trusted Access with Security Connector on our endpoint product with Systems Manager. So you can do certificate-based authentication without an invasive mobile device management agent actually running on the device. If you're bringing your own device, you probably don't want, as an end user, your IT manager to be able to delete an app off your phone. But you may want to be able to allow them online when they're in, that device needs to be online when they're in the corporate office or in a hospital or whatever it might be, and restrict how that device behaves. And so Trusted Access and Security Connector allows for that. Also, Secure Connect. This is a big feature that's been released on our access point side in conjunction with some of our new switching line. So if you think about Meraki as a wireless product, you got to start to think a little bit different. PLDT is going to be investing in the next months and years on additional switching capabilities, and in addition to the wireless products that they already offer with Meraki. And so Secure Connect allows you to automatically configure a switch port and recognize with certificate authentication when a Meraki AP is plugged into a Meraki switch and automatically configure that port and configure that AP. Additionally, we're talking about teleworking today, telecommuting today. So securing those remote sites, being able to enforce different policies, blocking different applications, segmenting the network so that if you have, for example, a Z3 device at home, you can have, one SSID that's completely segmented from another for, corporate VPN traffic, and then the other one is, able to be used for kids watching Netflix or whatever it might be, but you're able to do that balance between the two, secure those sites, and ensure that everyone in a work from home environment is able to have the best experience possible, not just when they're working, but also when they're kind of offline as well. And then finally, one of the things we've released is integration with Cisco Umbrella. So that's a native integration on our access points that allows for you to do DNS security and content filtering natively on our Meraki devices as well. So let's talk about remote work. Let's talk about kind of some of the architectures that are out there. Today we're focused primarily on Z3, but we do have a fully fledged solution to support a remote work environment. So on, whether it's just connectivity with, our VPN, or whether it's security on mobile devices, or whether it's deploying, VPN configurations to endpoints, we're able to do all of that. The kind of core of all of this is our Auto VPN technology. So Auto VPN really enables you to ship a device to a end user, let's say in their home, or if they're working in a remote location, wherever it might be, a remote office or something like that. Our Auto VPN and SD-WAN capabilities allow you to ship a device to that user. All they need to do is plug it in, and with the Z3 specifically, it's going to automatically configure behind whatever home router they might already have. It's able to automatically negotiate that connectivity, or if they're in a branch location, it's going to automatically negotiate that connectivity, and it's going to provide that wired PoE connectivity if you have a, let's say, in a remote call center environment, where you want to actually have let's say a Cisco VoIP phone plugged in and you need power and data for that, the Z3 will support that, in addition to supporting the wireless needs at home as well. And all of that connectivity is kind of done behind the scenes, orchestrated through the cloud, fully secure, all out of band. So user traffic's never going through the cloud. The cloud is really just kind of the orchestrator for that larger WAN network that you may need. Now, I talked about this, I guess, already a little bit, but some of the features of the Z3 and also of the MX appliances are, Wi-Fi integration right on the one single box, being able to do all of the same types of authentication that you would expect. So whether you want just a pre-shared key or a more in-depth authentication server like with Radius, supporting multiple LAN ports, so wired connectivity, SD-WAN on the box as well. And then also integration with analytics and visibility. So one of the things that we really feel is important when you're talking about a highly distributed network is being able to actually understand and see how that distributed network is behaving. So from from PLDT's perspective, they see this as a huge value point as well, in conjunction with what we're providing, because you as a customer just want connectivity, you want it to work. And so in many cases, it's up to you as an end customer to actually report back issues that may be occurring for whatever reason, in or out of the control of the service provider. With Meraki Insight and on top of the Z3 platform, you're able to get full network performance analytics, and in many cases, PLDT may be able to tell you as a customer before you even realize that you have a network outage, and they may have already taken some steps to troubleshoot and resolve that issue. Right? So we're talking about better SLAs, we're talking about more visibility, and all of this, again, is what we're doing in the background to just make sure that you as a customer have the best experience possible with your increasingly complex wide area network when people are working from home. When you're in an office environment, you've got a few different sites and you've got IT on staff. When you decentralize that and you put people in their homes, things start to look a lot more complicated, and those are the kind of conditions that we're trying to solve for with some of the visibility tools and the remote troubleshooting tools that we have on top of the Meraki Z3 platform. So to go into just a little bit of detail, and I'll show this in just a moment, but what are we trying to solve? When a customer has an issue, when you have an issue, how do you approach that? So the first thing is, who do you contact? The Meraki Insight tool will allow you to understand and answer that question. On one page, it will tell you, is this a problem on my local network? Is this a problem on the WAN, where we're going to be working with PLDT directly on a WAN connection? Or is this potentially an issue with a cloud provider? And again, PLDT will be able to answer these questions for you, so you won't have to worry about kind of deriving this information yourself, but it also provides lots of evidence and data for them to help solve the issues. So with that, I'm going to go into a really brief demo of the Meraki dashboard. So we're going to take a look at some of the visibility on a SD-WAN perspective and a WAN perspective, teleworking perspective, as well as some of the insight tools for WAN application monitoring. So when we go into the Meraki dashboard here, if you haven't seen this before, this is kind of the platform that you're going to be looking at for all of your different sites around the globe. So this could include actual branch location, your HQ, data center, as well as all your teleworkers. So if we go into one of these particular sites, and today I'm just going to focus on San Francisco as an example here, but what we're going to do is we're going to dive into kind of some of the visibility that you can get through the Meraki dashboard. So the first thing that you see when you connect to an individual site is how all the clients are connecting. So you'll be able to see here if the clients are connected through a wire, if they're connected through a VPN back to this site. So if you were looking at the data center, for example, you'd be able to see how many users are connected over client VPN or device-to-device VPN, or if they're connected wirelessly. And then you're also able to see information around all the different types of traffic. So it's no surprise that back at our HQ, we're seeing one of the most significant contributors to our overall traffic being WebEx there. But we can get into details around content providers like YouTube, as well as more advanced content delivery networks as well, file sharing, and so on and so forth. Now, if we want to look at actually the kind of monitoring tools that you may use to understand how your VPN and how your overall wide area network is behaving, you can look at the VPN status page here, and you can see very easily and identify very easily connectivity over time, as well as statistics around how much usage there is across the different VPN tunnels, as well as the overall latency across your different sites. You can see kind of what percentage of traffic is flowing, say to your data center 1 versus data center 2. And all of this is something that, can be exported as well, and something that, could potentially be provided to you as a customer by PLDT, on a monthly basis. So you can just kind of have a general check on your WAN health. Now, I don't want to stop, without talking about Meraki Insight, because I think it's really an important tool as we see our customers, as we see you moving to more sort of kind of SaaS-based applications. And one of the really exciting things, and this is a great example here as we click in, is some new features around Meraki Insight. So one of the new things that we've introduced is what we call Smart Threshold. So that allows you to, in real time, actually adjust and have the device give you alerting for if a particular application is misbehaving. So if we go into app health here, we can see Google Drive, for example. Marketo is our marketing platform. We also have got CCW, which looks like it's up, which is great. It means people are placing orders and able to place orders. But if we go into Google Drive, we can see very quickly that this specific kind of overview for Google Drive is going to show us where the issue is right off the bat. So is this an issue on our own LAN? Is it a WAN issue, or is it a server issue? And then we can actually go in and see trends, and we can dive even deeper to discover that, look, we're seeing a low or a higher than expected level of latency, or a lower than expected level of performance. So I really encourage you to talk to your PLDT team. We really feel like it's a strong partnership. PLDT, with the power of Meraki, is able to kind of help everyone in the Philippines stay connected during this new normal. We are able to securely connect remote users. Together, we are simplifying powerful technology to make your life easier as a customer. And then, in addition to that, we're really seeing a lot of work together with PLDT and Cisco Meraki to make sure that their reps, their customer service team, are able to provide you with the best experience possible. So we're constantly working together to make sure that when you invest in a service from PLDT that's fully backed by Cisco Meraki, we're in this together, and we think that for the current age, the new normal, we can provide together the best experience possible to you as a customer that's kind of changing the way that you work. So with that, I want to go ahead and hand it over to the lovely Clarice to chat a little bit about kind of how PLDT is thinking about the Philippines market and what you guys are bringing and what PLDT is bringing to market.
Thanks, George. Okay, good afternoon to all our guests joining us today. My name is Clarice Parulan, Product Manager of PLDT Enterprise. True to our mission in keeping Filipinos connected, the PLDT Group is committed to helping the country amid the current situation through our infrastructure. We strive to help our frontliners and the sectors and agencies tasked to fight the pandemic. It is in these times, that we realize the value of staying connected. Services such as emergency hotlines, telehealth, Wi-Fi, COVID application access, and even the StaySafe.ph contact tracing solution are some of the initiatives we are taking to support our countrymen. As the country depends more and more on connectivity during this crisis and beyond, PLDT and SMART continue to invest in the country's infrastructure. For 2020, we will continue to invest 20 billion to ensure network performance and reliability. We were able to double the bandwidth for our home subscribers. As we speak, these capacity figures might already be outdated as our engineers have also deployed urgent upgrades to handle the surge in nationwide bandwidth usage caused by the ongoing crisis. It is also worth noting that since 2018, we have begun our journey towards SDN, or software-defined networking, and 5G to ensure that the country is well equipped for the next wave of digital technology. There's a saying going around that COVID-19, more than anything else, has been the driver of digital transformation across industries. And there's actually some truth to that. For some years now, companies have had plenty of plans to go digital, with common themes around increasing e-commerce sales, collecting more customer data, and implementing remote working. In particular, we're seeing these amplified now more than ever in retail, food services, outsourcing, healthcare, manufacturing, and micro businesses and SMEs. For today, we'd like to double click and zoom in on three key industries and share a few insights from the ground. For retail, heavy mall dependency has essentially shut down entire store operations during lockdown. Online only exclusive offers have proliferated to encourage e commerce transactions. Stores have doubled as e commerce fulfillment centers and more than ever rely on secure, resilient connections. Then, for quick serve restaurants, from Wi Fi data, 90% foot traffic reduction since lockdowns began. Gradual reopening since April relied heavily on internet uptime to serve online, phone in, and third party delivery. Also, current foot traffic is at 25% of pre quarantine levels. New normal queuing protocols present opportunities for data collection through Wi Fi. And new store concepts such as cloud kitchens focus on e commerce, which have minimal square footage and rental costs. And lastly, for business process outsourcing, since lockdowns began, operations have been reduced by 27%. Moving forward, it is widely estimated that 50% of all operations will be permanently moved to offsite to work from home agents. And as work from home operations proliferate, there are increased concerns on the security and reliability of home office connections. To help companies cope with recovery and return to growth, we've designed a solution together with Cisco that's cost-effective and fast to deploy. It's called PLDT Branch in a Box. Built on top of the country's fastest fixed and wireless network, this platform makes it very easy to deploy reliable and secure IT networks. It's ideal for digital-savvy businesses that need to connect, protect, and manage multiple locations. From high-speed connectivity, Wi-Fi, access points, SD-WAN, switching, and security, PLDT Branch in a Box has got you covered. We've actually deployed these to thousands of locations, and we'd like to share with you real-world results that our customers are enjoying, which are preparing them for a future that is more digital and more resilient. 90% less capex versus DIY implementation. Get the complete network stack with a simple monthly fee on your PLDT FiberBiz connection. Up to 10 times reduction in cost per Mbps. We leverage fiber and LTE technology to deliver high bandwidth, cost-effective connections. Significantly reduced downtime. We utilize SD-WAN features to create dual active-active links that greatly increase the reliability of your site. 2 times faster site deployment. Our engineers create templates that make plug-and-play IT deployments possible. Real-time threat detection and analytics, built-in anti-malware and intrusion prevention systems with always updated security definitions. And lastly, increased customer data points for loyalty initiatives. Client usage data and captive portal capabilities help your marketing teams drive greater repeat business. We also wanted to share actual use cases of our deployment. This particular scenario shows the next generation infrastructure we've built for some of our customers from the retail and food services industry. By utilizing fiber, LTE, and cloud managed equipment, our customers are enjoying more reliable store networks, which are critical as online and third parties order surge. Typically, a deployment like this will cost you a huge amount of capex and maintenance if you were to deploy across all your sites and locations. Instead of that, for our customers through a low monthly fee, we take care of connectivity maintenance, equipment replacement, and any change requests. It's a similar scenario for work from home employees, as homes are increasingly considered as branches or offices. For one of our BPO customers who deals primarily VoIP usage, we've seen a significant improvement in VoIP quality through our SD-WAN and traffic shaping capabilities. This is now being deployed to hundreds of home offices. IT managers will also have a full view of how home broadband investments are being used. Split tunnels allow you to conserve on backhaul bandwidth by providing managed direct internet breakout from the home office. These are some of the results we've helped our customers achieve and would love to do the same for you. Just to wrap up my presentation, I'd like to share a simple action plan so you can start your journey towards recovery and digital transformation. First, take stock of your IT and network assets. What are your current investments? Are there any CapEx challenges that are limiting you? How are you maintaining them? Next, identify gaps based on where you want to go. Are you noticing increased cloud or software as a service usage? For example, Office 365, Cloud POS, Cloud ERPs? How is your current network handling this? And finally, by having the clarity from 1 and 2, start the transformation conversation with your technology partner. That's all I have for today, and we do hope to have a chat with you to get your digital transformation journey started right away. Thanks everyone for your time.
Thanks, Clarice. It's Ria again. So now I'd like to call in back all our panelists, George, Ashlyn, Clarice, and of course, Victor. I'd just like to remind the attendees that you can actually post your questions on the chat box if you're shy, or you can raise your hand, then we can turn you on live. Okay, so for the Q&A, we've received a couple of questions come in prior to the call, and maybe I'll just read them out while we're waiting for them to key in their questions. So I guess this one is for Cisco. Any of Ashlyn or George can answer. How can you help SMEs strengthen their infrastructure security? I think I'll give that to George.
Sure, absolutely. So yeah, in terms of strengthening the security story, I think there are a lot of things that maybe aren't necessarily spoken about on the Cisco side. And one of the big things is our integration with our Talos organization within Cisco. We are constantly looking at, kind of the big bad world of the internet out there, looking at potential threats, both existing and future threats. And so with an investment in a Meraki deployment, you get full integration with Cisco Talos and are able to kind of address some of those potential threats where, especially if you're looking at a large distributed enterprise, whereas previously you maybe have sent all your traffic back to a private data center and kind of monitor that data center for security. Now you're able to do it at the edge as well. And in addition to that, from a cloud security perspective, we and PLDT kind of take care of the rest for you. We're constantly there. We're constantly monitoring. We have security desks that are looking at potential threats. And so I think an investment in a Meraki technology allows you to have peace of mind for your security strategy without having to worry about complex deployments on endpoints where you have to make sure that every single endpoint is configured and up to date properly. A lot of it can happen at the network level, and I think that Cisco can help with that. Cisco technology can help with that. So I don't know if anyone on the Cisco team has anything to add, but that would be my kind of response on kind of simplification for SMGs on security strategy.
Thanks, George. While you're there is a follow-up question on what are the critical changes that one must make in order to be successful in the transition to cloud or cloud services?
I mean, I think the biggest thing is to trust your PLDT team. That's the biggest thing I would say is not everyone out there has the time or energy to be a security expert. So increasing trust and asking questions. Also just knowing that when you're working with a vendor like Cisco or a provider like PLDT, we've got lots of customers, tons of customers out there that have probably faced very similar challenges to what you may be facing. And so just the law of numbers and just our experience in the industry, I would say is kind of the best practices. So just don't be shy and please ask, and know that we've spent lots of time when developing these bundles, when developing these solutions, on thinking about the security aspect as well. So we know the best practices. If you have specific concerns, please ask. But we try and take an approach that, again, simplifies things for you, so you can focus on what your mission is, and you don't have to really worry about it as much.
Thanks, George. Now, a few questions for Victor and Clarice. There's one that came in. Are there any plans for a better internet connectivity for all Filipino workers now that we've moved into the home?
I guess I'll take that, Ria. Thank you. As mentioned by Victor, actually, we just recently launched Dawn Fiber. I think most of us are already aware, or maybe most of us already watched the launch last Monday. That basically is the answer to the question. It's an all-in-one solution that will enable businesses of any size with curated digital tools and Wi-Fi fit for enterprise, all anchored on business-grade fiber with a new standard of business internet. So it starts with a speed up to 50 Mbps with 90% of subscribed speed at 90% reliability and priority class of service, enabling the business to stay online despite congestion, especially during work hours.
Okay, thanks, Clarice. I think we have more time for one or two questions. This goes to Victor. How should we expect leaders to understand the agility beyond this ECQ?
Thanks for the question. Yeah, sorry, I was on mute. I think leaders have really already shown the ability that they understand agility, and that's the ability to think fast, move forward, and the way they've implemented a lot of these solutions. I mean, all the moves that they've made throughout the pandemic, whether it's moving everything to the work from home, adapting and leveraging the benefits of solutions like Branch in a Box, Meraki Z3, that's their way of showing agility. And we did a survey, and it was almost 80% of all the decision-making process to implement the work from home was done by the C-level executives. So they've been doing it, and it's something that all the C-level leaders have continuously shown throughout the pandemic.
Okay.
Adapt.
All right. There's one in the chat. As some companies opened up and jump-started their operations already, leaders are obsessed in keeping everyone adhering to social distancing and other health protocols. Does Cisco, in partnership with other IoT providers in a similar industry, have any plans of injecting technology from body to contact tracing solutions? I think I'll give that to George.
Yeah. That's you really teed me up there. That's a good one, a really good one, and one I like to answer because we have really seen a huge uptick in the combination of using our integrated wireless technology as well as our security cameras. We didn't talk about the MV cameras today, but we have strong partnerships with a number of different IoT providers that allow for either using our infrastructure with cameras and wireless in conjunction with additional sensors and things like that to provide good contact tracing. So whether it's tracing from one site to another, true contact tracing, or whether it's evaluating in a physical space if people are practicing social distancing through our cameras and sensors, we certainly do have great solutions out there. And I know that the PLDT team is looking at exploring some of these as well. So what I would encourage you to do, if you want to see kind of some of the implementations that are out there, is to check out what we call the Meraki Marketplace. So if you just do a quick search in whatever search engine of your choice for Meraki Marketplace, you'll actually see that we have an entire category devoted there and some applications that run on top of Meraki for social distancing purposes and contact tracing purposes. And many of them have demos as well, if you want to check out and see in real time how they work. So I'd refer you to the Meraki Marketplace, but it's absolutely something that we're looking at and are seeing not just as a theoretical, but are in real practice being deployed right now.
Okay, thanks, George. We're almost at the top of the hour, so I will bring it back to Victor to take us home.
Thanks, Ria. To the Cisco team, thank you very much as well. In closing, I just want to thank Cisco for the continued partnership, which has spanned, I think, for more than 10 years now. And as a testament of the strength of the relationship, Cisco CEO Chuck Robbins has even visited the Philippines last year to meet with the senior leadership of PLDT. So PLDT and Cisco solutions are tried and tested, and we're continuously going to the market together. So thank you again to our partners and our clients for giving us the opportunity to support your connectivity, security, and productivity needs while tag teaming with our trusted partner, Cisco. And if you guys have any other further questions, don't hesitate to reach out to the relationship management team, as George had mentioned earlier. So we'll be here to support, and we look forward to more sessions like this. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, Ria.
On behalf of Cisco and the whole PLDT Enterprise team, thank you so much for staying with us this afternoon. We hope to see you again in one of our series. Thank you also to our panelists. If you have any further questions, please do drop us a note. PLDT Enterprise would gladly help with any of your needs. Again, this is Ria from Cisco, giving you the afternoon back. Have a good day.